I'm live. Okay. All right, I think we're good. Hello, everyone. Hello, it's Christmas. we are nearly there. Sorry, just making sure everything is set up here. Thank you, everyone joining. It's so cold here in Florida, a freezing 60 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm not good with Fahrenheit. What's Fahrenheit in Celsius? It sounds cold, but yeah, does anyone know what that is in Fahrenheit? Sorry, straight on to talking about the weather. How very British of me. Thank you everyone for joining. Here I am coming to you live from just outside London. It's neither warm nor sunny, but it is, as always, just outside London. We have a Christmas gift. SBC is in NYC and soon in court. Absolutely. Yeah, it's about time, isn't it? It's about time. Lots of you joining. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone, for giving up a bit of your Thursday morning, afternoon, evening, whatever it is. Yeah, I thought I'd do one last live stream just before Christmas. I've got to be honest with you guys, there's not an enormous amount of crypto-related stuff that isn't to do with SBF and FTX and all those scumbags. There's a couple of things we can probably talk about, but really, I think this will be a sort of slightly kind of rambly one. I'm just going to ask you a lot of questions. I want to get your opinion on things and just kind of check in with you all before Christmas and maybe maybe let's kind of all cheer each other up at the end of what has, let's face it, been a pretty tough year for anyone interested in crypto. Those Americans of you, those of you who celebrated Thanksgiving will have already had a bit of practice at this. The thing of dealing with relatives who insist on talking to you about crypto. I may have some crypto-related discussions on Christmas Day. I'm not too sure. Fortunately, my brother-in-law is coming around. My brother-in-law is very into crypto, so I will have an ally. That's good, but I am anticipating having to talk crypto with some unbelievers at some point over the holiday period. So yeah, give me some ideas what to talk about, folks. But this comment from LWG on Coin Bureau Clips has cheered me up. Bought a Trezor T using your link and moved all my crypto from Binance. Now I sleep well at night. Thanks, my G. That is good news. That is good news. You thought I wasn't going to bang on at all about self-custody during this live stream, didn't you? You thought maybe after last week talking about little else that I would have nothing more to say on the subject of self-custody. You were wrong, people. You were wrong. That's very good. Well done. Well done, LWJ. Well done, everyone who has moved their crypto onto a hardware wallet and is sleeping sounder as a result. This is good news. So how are we? Stay strong all. That's good. I like that. I'm going to put that comment up as well. So still at parents. Yes, I am still at the parents, here for another couple of weeks. So I don't know, maybe I'll do a live stream between Christmas and New Year in that sort of terrible dead period where nothing really goes on. I haven't quite decided yet. I guess if there's something interesting happened in crypto over that time, then perhaps I will. But if not, perhaps I'll spare you guys a live stream next week. But let's see. How do you know Harry Brook? This is a very good question, John. So Harry Brook is the next big thing in English cricket, people. He's a genius. He's a wizard with a cricket bat. He's just scored, I think it's 3 centuries against Pakistan. How do I know him? Well, I met him at the Oval, but Coin Bureau sponsor him. We got the connection through a friend of ours who works with a lot of sportsmen. He basically helps sportsmen invest their money. That's his kind of speciality. He put us in touch with Harry Brook, and that is how you have Coin Bureau on the back of Harry Brook's bat. And I must say, I don't go on about that nearly enough, because that is something that gives me a lot of joy. And I did get to meet Harry Brook at the Oval earlier this year, and he's an extremely nice chap. So we wish him well. And for those of you who are wondering, who is Harry Brook? What is cricket? And what has this got to do with crypto? Sorry, that's all I can say. Anyhow, so we haven't done our normal thing. Harry's amazing. He's going to be massive next year in the Ashes. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. It's the Ashes next year, isn't it? I cannot wait. For once, I'm really looking forward to the Ashes. So, yeah, any Australians out there, just know that it's going to get. You're in for it next summer. It's going to be. There's going to be lots of very bullish English cricket sentiment here at Coin Bureau next summer. So be prepared. Where's it? Yes. Where is everyone coming in from? Cricketers are good people. They certainly are. So someone, Rodrigo, is dialing in from Portugal. Thank you very much, Rodrigo. Thanks everyone saying Merry Christmas, by the way. A very Merry Christmas to all of you. Even if Christmas isn't your thing, it's still a lovely time of year. Canada. Oh, I bet Canada's freezing. It's cold enough here. From Beijing. Really, Jack? Okay. Are people saying your parents your parents seem to love wine? They do. Well, these are my dad's wine books. I don't think my mum doesn't mind a glass of wine. But it's my dad who's the big wine fan. Really, Jack? Are you dialing in from Beijing? That's brilliant. Britain. I moved my crypto to Exodus. Is it okay? Yes, Tom. Should be okay. I haven't heard anything. I haven't heard anything bad about Exodus, and I use Exeter myself. Exodus myself. So that's good. Hello from warm and sunny Minnesota. -13 Fahrenheit or -25 Celsius. -25 Celsius. Oh. It got down to about -2 or 3 here last week, and I nearly just couldn't cope with it. So what -2? I don't even know what -25 is like. I presume it's just hell on earth. Okay, so this is good to see. There seems to be some good sentiment out here. Hello from Romania. It's a while since I've said hello to any Romanians joining. How is everyone doing? There seems to be some pretty good sentiment here, even if there aren't that many people watching. It's still good to be able to chat with some of you. And South African living in Australia. Nice, very nice. Would they like a bottle of 1994 Penfolds Grange? We have 16, and for the value you give, I'm quite happy to send one. I will need a. I'm sure they'd love that, Aussie Crypto. Thank you very much. Penfolds Grange, 94 Penfolds Grange. Very nice, very nice. Apologies, it's actually really cold in here. I'm in my parents' study. The heating is not working as well as it used to. So apologies if I'm going to drink tea live on air. California, excellent. Beirut, Lebanon, fantastic. Fantastic. Brits in the Philippines. Hey, Rob. You must have me mixed up with someone else. Good. This is good. People seem quite cheerful today in the comments, despite the fact that really nothing much is going on in the world of crypto other than SBF related. Morocco, North Carolina, South Africa, Lithuania, fantastic. -17 last night. A bit cold. That's just that makes my brain freeze over just thinking about -17. -17, that's crazy. Your parents are hodling any crypto. My dad is hodling a bit of Bitcoin, and he has given up asking me what it is worth because he refuses to check himself. Argentina, Nico, I bet you're feeling very pleased. But Argentina, Bahamas, FlowerTube 44. Who are you, FlowerTube 44? Are you one of our? Are you who you say you are? Obviously, the Bahamas has been kind of ground zero for crypto over the last few days, and I'm very interested to know, the location of or the whereabouts of a number of formerly Bahamas-based entities. Guantanamo, from Tennessee, from sunny Stoke-on-Trent, from Jamaica. Oh, lovely. Good evening, everyone. Oh, it's a good evening to some people. How low do you see BTC going? I've just made my 2023 crypto predictions video. That will be coming out in a few days' time. How low do I see BTC going? I believe BTC can go as low as 10K. That is the price point that I'm looking at the moment. I think there is a possibility that we could get to 10K and we could then flash crash below 10K, but I don't think we go much lower than that for long. But remember, folks, making price predictions in crypto is an easy way to look silly very, very fast. But that is what I'm expecting. And as ever, I hope I'm wrong. From Jerusalem, Israel, from Denmark, fantastic. Rotterdam in the Netherlands, from Thailand, very good weather in Bangkok, I'm sure. Some good friends of mine are off to Bangkok just after Christmas. What is your favorite crypto-related Twitter account? Good question. I suppose my two favorite, I've got a number actually. So Kobe is one of my favorite crypto Twitter accounts because he's great. Tiffany Fong, who has been, who's kind of risen to prominence. She was talking to SBF, remember. She was one of these people who got a phone interview with him and has also been exposing a lot of stuff about Celsius. She's been doing great work, and also her Twitter account is really cool. I'm a big fan of it. So follow Tiffany Fong on Twitter as well. Do any of you follow Coinfessions as well? That can be a bit of a tough read at some point, but that's Anonymous Crypto Confessions. That's one of my guilty pleasures. That I do enjoy following Coinfessions on Twitter. Who else? I mean, there are loads, aren't there? But those are three of my favorite. Sorry, it's very difficult to talk and drink tea at the same time. Okay, from Cameroon, and lots of people saying thanks for content this year. Well, guys, it was an absolute pleasure making content for you this year. I've really enjoyed it. I can't say I've enjoyed 2022 all that much. It's been a very tough year. It's been a tough year for crypto. Someone talking about Donald Trump NFTs. Yeah, I want to talk about those. Did anyone watching buy a Donald Trump NFT? Donald Trump is pretty much the only person who's up in crypto this year, isn't he? Okay, so yes, that was something I thought we could talk about as well. They pumped right up after release, didn't they? And I mean, did they sell out? I can't remember how limited the run was, but I think he sold them all. And now the floor price went crazy, and I think it's now crashed back down. The last time I checked. I spent all my cash on Trump NFTs. Okay, see, I hope you see some of that back. Someone saying, no, it's been a difficult year, but it isn't the first one. You're right. Crypto's had some difficult years before. 2018 was a bit of a difficult year, wasn't it? But it always comes back stronger. 2014 was a difficult year. So 2014 was my first I heard about Bitcoin in 2013, but 2014 was my first sort of full year in crypto. And that was difficult. We had Mt. Gox. That sort of started off the year. And that was really tough. And I mean, it's just incredible, isn't it, that this Mt. Gox business is still going on. Mt. Gox is still sort of, weighing on the markets a little bit, because now there's talk, is it January or February? The creditors are finally supposed to get their money back. So we could see some selling around that time. It's that. So the point being is that we've had difficult years in crypto before. We'll have difficult years in crypto in the future. But the main thing is crypto has survived them all, and it will survive 2022. And actually, I think we'll look back and it'll be 2022 will be one of those years that will end up being sort of really pivotal to crypto's development, because so much of the stuff that's going to happen as a result of what we've seen this year is going to be some of the most important stuff to ever hit the whole crypto industry. Someone asking, how much money have you lost this year in crypto? Enough. To be honest, I haven't really done the numbers on it. Obviously, a lot of the crypto that I've been holding, I was holding long before 2022, and I have sold a lot of altcoins this year. I've sold a little bit at a loss. Obviously, I lost a little bit of UST. And I lost a bit of money on FTX as well, because we had some money sitting there ready to deploy, and we got a little bit caught out, I'm afraid. But yeah, I couldn't tell you exactly how much I've lost on crypto this year, but it's certainly down a little bit. But you know, I've sold a bit, but I'm not planning to sell an awful lot more, and I'm keeping my largest allocation at the moment is in stablecoin. I'm sitting on the sidelines. I'm waiting for those prices to go lower, which I think my best guess is that it's going to happen early on next year, probably January, February sometime. And that is when I will be looking to sort of start picking up more crypto again. I see 7 books about wine over there. Now give us a Christmas kiss. Dave, you be careful what you wish for. Abdullah says, my portfolio is down 70%, but I'm still holding. FTX owes me 80 cents and I want it. Flat smack, don't give up. Chase them for every cent. What price are you buying ETH at? Yappa you. Okay, ETH has held up surprisingly well, but I tell you, if ETH drops to 3 figures, then I will definitely be going in on some of that, but I'm not so sure ETH will drop to that price. ETH has been surprisingly resilient over this bear market, and I think obviously the merge has been a big success by kind of any metric really. And now Ethereum is looking to the future. Obviously, we've got Shanghai scheduled for March. That's unlocking of staked coins is going to be very, very interesting. A lot of people speculating that could mean that a lot of ETH gets unstaked and sold. That's definitely a possibility. But I think there's also a very good chance that a lot of that ETH will actually get staked as well, because people looking at it going, hey, I can stake my ETH and I can unstake it. I'm much more comfortable staking it now. So I think that could be something that we see come March, assuming Shanghai goes ahead as planned. So lots of interesting stuff to look out for. Did I talk about that last week? I've got a bit of deja vu there. I tell you where I was talking about that yesterday. I did an interview with the chaps from Altcoin Daily. Really, really nice chaps, Austin and Aaron. Really nice guys. We did an interview which I think is going out on their channel on Christmas Day, which is a big honor. They told me during the interview, and I was like, wow, I get to be the Christmas Day interview on Altcoin Daily, which is really cool. I don't know, maybe they just imagine that no one will be watching on Christmas Day, and it's a good time to sneak an interview with me out. But anyhow, that's if you're Altcoin Daily fans, and I must say those guys are really, really nice, really cool guys. I met them briefly in Dubai a couple of months ago when they were over. I think they were over for Future Blockchain, and we chatted, and they are both really nice chaps. So do check out Altcoin Daily, and do check out that interview that I did with them, which I think is coming out Christmas Day. I'm pretty sure that's what they said. Anyhow, Guy, is Binance in trouble? Not as far as I know, Abdul. There is a lot of Binance FUD flying around at the moment. I think some of that could be being spread by rivals of Binance. I'm not going to name any names, but just think stablecoins. Okay. We know that the stablecoin sector is just so cutthroat at the moment. So a lot of FUD flying around about Binance. It just doesn't seem to be going away. From what I've seen and from what I've heard, Binance has been coping with the withdrawals. I've also been pretty impressed that CZ has been out there in front of it, communicating pretty clearly. So Binance is not something that I am concerned about at this time. And I think really, if you are concerned about Binance, if you have money sitting on Binance, then the answer to it is self-custody, folks. That is the thing to do. And then you don't have to worry about it. Obviously, if Binance was to go down, that would not be good for the crypto industry, but the industry would survive it, folks. It would survive it. And I must say, I'm kind of one of the many things that annoys me about crypto, but there's been a lot of people out there, a lot of maxis and others kind of raining down FUD on Binance and, you know, on Twitter and elsewhere. And I kind of think, okay, not everyone likes Binance. That's fair enough. Everyone has their own agenda. But I wonder, just by raining all this FUD down, are they not just, do they not realize that that would be damaging to all of crypto? I would really like to see the crypto industry pull more together on this one, folks, because I know that everyone has different views. I know that one of the cool things about crypto is that everyone disagrees, and you know, it's very, very tribal, and you've got all these communities, and some people love particular coins and tokens, other people hate them, and there's lots of very, very strong opinions. And it is one of the cool things about crypto, but it can also be one of the really frustrating things about crypto as well, because just give me a different hat on TikTok. Because we need to stand together as an industry, folks. We've got enough problems with people from outside the industry, you know, pouring FUD on us. Yeah, I'd much like, that would be one of my crypto wishes for 2023, is to see the crypto industry pull together more, because we are all on the same side, guys. Just because some of us like ADA and some people don't like ADA, just because some people are Bitcoin maxis and some people aren't, just because some people use Binance and some people don't, you know, there's still much more that we can agree on than disagree on, folks. So yeah, but I know I'm preaching to the converted here, because you're Coin Bureau fans, and I know you guys are all lovely and cool. Abdul, you can't just ask me one question after another. Is this particular exchange in trouble? Guy, do you have, Joe Zachariah, do you have a crypto tattoo? I don't have any tattoos at all. Would I have a crypto tattoo? I think someone in the office, probably Macy, came up with the idea that maybe I should get a crypto tattoo and we could make content out of it. And I had to suggest that she remove herself from the office for a time. Anyhow, okay, no tattoos. Yes, absolutely, Aussie Crypto, no tattoos. Yeah, I think I'll post that comment there. Okay, how confident are you that there will be a bull market? I am very confident there will be a bull market. I firmly believe that the crypto cycle will continue, and we will move into a bull market in due course. When that will be, I can't say for sure. I don't think it will be next year, or if it is next year, I think it will be very late next year. But I'm looking more at 2024 as when we will see a bull market again. But don't worry, folks. Because there's still going to be lots of interesting stuff happening in the crypto market in 2023. And I tell you what, those of you who stick around, because let's face it, there's been a lot of tourists in crypto so far, haven't there? A lot of people have lost interest. A lot of people have forgotten all about it and moved on. And that's fine. But when they come back for the bull market, they will find that it's the people who stuck around through the bear market, kept learning, and eventually started investing again, you know, DCAing in over the bad times, taking their time to do their research. They'll find that the people who stuck around are the real winners. And that's you guys. So well done for sticking around. Hello, Guy. Greetings from Poland. Merry Christmas. Thank you for your work. Thank you very much, Lucas. Thank you very much. And yeah, greetings to all of you, wherever you're joining in from today. And it's great to see our usual global audience as well, joining us from all over the world. Okay. Guy, will ETH flip BTC? I think it will eventually, yes. Maybe next year. Maybe next year. Who knows? But yeah, that'll be an interesting day when that happens. But I think it will eventually, yeah. Okay. So, excuse me, I should quickly go through some of the things that I was going to talk about today. Sorry, my throat's a bit dry at the moment. I think we've got to talk about SBF, haven't we? He just will not go away. Guy, do you like some scotch in your tea? Well, if you're offering, Nick, yeah, thank you. Oh, that's good. So obviously the latest with SBF, he has been flown back to the United States. The last I heard, he was going to the same prison that Jeffrey Epstein was in. So that's interesting. And I think it's his bail hearing today, and I imagine that he's going to be denied bail. I imagine he'll also be hoping to get house arrest or something like that, so as he doesn't have to spend Christmas in prison. But I think beside SBF and maybe his parents, there's pretty much no one else in the entire world who doesn't want to see him spend Christmas in jail, because that is the best place for him. So it's looking pretty interesting on that front, folks, because obviously now that he's back in the US, obviously that whole process kind of kicks off there. And we had the news earlier, didn't we, that both Caroline Ellison, the former CEO of Alameda, and Gary Wang, who was the CTO at FTX and obviously co-founded FTX with Sam, Gary and Caroline have both apparently agreed to testify against Sam. So basically all the rats are kind of turning on each other. And I guess that will be for reduced sentence. You know, they'll be doing that to try and get reduced sentences. The questions I'm really keen to know at the moment are, where is Sam Trabucco? When are we going to hear from him? Because I think he would have some very interesting stuff to say. And where is Nishad Singh? Because according to Caroline, it was Sam, Gary, and Nishad who had access to FTX customer funds. So Nishad Singh is very much a person of interest as well. Is he still in the Bahamas? Is Gary still in the Bahamas? Where are these guys? It's going to be very, very interesting to hear what they have to say over the coming weeks. And I guess SBF's end game now is to basically try and get himself the lightest possible prison sentence, seeing as he's looking at, I think the consensus is he's looking at about 115 years in prison if he's found guilty on all charges. So I imagine he's going to do pretty much anything he can to whittle that down. And yeah, there's presumably SBF and others have access to a lot of information, and I think a lot of this information could be pretty useful in the bankruptcy fight, in the bankruptcy hearing, in trying to sort out the mess that is FTX and Alameda, and of course, most importantly, trying to return money to FTX depositors. So I'm a little bit frustrated to see that John Ray and his team, who have taken over at FTX, aren't working with Sam at all. I can understand their reasons for wanting not to, because obviously we can't trust him at all. We can't believe a word he says, but I'm pretty sure that he must still have some vital information that would be useful to the process. And I think it would be good to try and get that from him as soon as possible. So I will be, I'll be keeping a very close eye on everything that happens with this story, because I'm sure there's some absolutely crazy stuff going on under the surface there that we still don't know about. I read quite an interesting article, I think it was from Barstool Sports, that someone posted on Twitter, basically talking about kind of what happens now with Sam and where he'll end up. And apparently, I think it looks like he'll obviously go to a federal prison, but not like, the sort of federal supermax hellhole where they send like all the very worst, drug lords and terrorists and axe murderers and things like that. I think apparently he will just end up at some fairly sort of boring, maybe high or medium security federal jail somewhere, and just spend probably the rest of his life there, which is perhaps not what everyone wants to see. I think a lot of people would prefer to see him go somewhere a lot nastier, but that is how it works. So I'm told. So that will be interesting to see, and that's the kind of big story in crypto at the moment. A lot of people think he'll be Epstein before he talks. I mean, I'm just not prepared to rule anything out at this stage, because 2022, we've seen it all, haven't we? We've seen it all. Someone asking if I have ever considered growing mushrooms. Where was that comment? I mentioned in a Q&A video, Patch Corn Adams. Guy, have you ever grown mushrooms? Mycology is incredibly rewarding. I saw that you like growing things in your last video. That's right. I did a Q&A video here on Coin Bureau Clips. I think it went out yesterday. And someone asked me what I'd like to do outside of crypto. And gardening is a big thing for me, just growing things. I just find growing things from seed really, really satisfying. I've never tried growing mushrooms. What sort of mushrooms are you hinting at? Patch Corn Adams. Interesting. I've never tried growing mushrooms, but I must say, just growing things from seed is one of the most rewarding things. I just absolutely love doing it, and it does take my mind off. It does take my mind off crypto when crypto isn't going all that great. And well, I'll show you when I get back to the Dubai office. I've got some things growing in there, and I will keep you posted on their progress. So you can follow. Maybe I'll start a sort of separate. We've got Coin Bureau Clips, obviously. We've got Coin Bureau main channel. We've got our TikTok. Maybe I will start another channel, just guys gardening. Would people watch that? I mean, it is a bear market, folks. We need to diversify in times like this. Would you watch a channel just me sort of pottering around, talking to plants and doing all that sort of stuff? Let me know. Let me know. Patch Corn Adams would love to see that. Okay, that's good enough for me. Consider it done. Actually, on a serious note, we do have some really cool stuff planned for content from Coin Bureau next year. When I get back to Dubai in January, we've got a couple of very interesting meetings coming up, and it's going to be really, really cool. We've got some amazing stuff planned. And I've got some really cool stuff planned for future live stream events as well. I haven't checked with the relevant people whether I'm allowed to say anything about that at the moment. But be prepared for more regular live streams from yours truly and a couple of other chaps as well in the new year. And I must say, I'm really, really looking forward to that because, folks, we're only going to keep building in the bear market. That is something that you can be sure of. Even if crypto prices are going sideways or not doing anything, even if the crypto space as a whole is not as exciting as it is when the bulls are in town, Coin Bureau, we're still going to be doing stuff. We're going to be doing more stuff. We've got really exciting things planned. We ain't going anywhere, folks. So I hope Weed Bureau. Coin Bureau grows. Okay. Guys, garden sounds great. This is fantastic. This is fantastic. Okay, Team Coin Bureau, any of you guys listening, can you get straight on and set up the relevant channels? Can we get Guy Growing Guy's Garden on? Can we get that domain on YouTube? Can we lock that in? Okay. I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to that. That'll take our mind off crypto at a decent time. Has one of my colleagues replied to me on this actually? Ksenia says she's setting up the channel, folks. Okay, consider it done. Gardening with Guy. That's the thing. Excellent, excellent. Well, we're creating here. This is bear market building going on right here, guys. You have been instrumental in this. So I tell you what, I'll issue a load of Guy's Garden NFTs and I'll airdrop them all to you. Not quite sure how we'll figure that out, but yeah, consider it done. Botany Bureau, this is great. This is great. Hi with Guy. It's not going to be that sort of gardening, okay? Bear in mind, I live in the UAE. I live in Dubai, so I can't be growing anything sort of funky. Because they don't take that well in Dubai, and yeah, I don't want to be having to live stream from a Dubai jail cell. That's for sure. Someone asked Armando. Thank you, Armando. How is the real estate market in Dubai? As far as I know, the real estate market in Dubai is running pretty hot at the moment because we had a lot of people from Russia and Ukraine come in, and yeah, a lot of people buying houses. But apparently, real estate in Dubai kind of yo-yos. So at some point, it all crashes, and that's when anyone who hasn't bought is able to buy in. So I'm told. Francisco, when are you having another Coin Bureau meeting? Okay, so We are hoping to do a small Coin Bureau event in Dubai in March. And then we are planning another big Coin Bureau event that's much easier to get to. We're going to do another one of those in London in June. And Macy is busy organizing that at the moment. I think we already have some cool guests locked in, but that is going to happen. Yeah, that is going to happen in June back here in London. So even though people liking this, people liking the jumper as well. I haven't solicited anything on that. It's Christmas Bureau. So I thought, might as well dress up occasionally. How long are you planning on staying in Dubai? A while yet. I'll be there for a few years, I think, certainly, because, well, for one thing, I'm enjoying it out there. I must say, I like it. I like the weather. I've met some really nice people. It's great to have my Coin Bureau colleagues, so many of them close by, because for a long time we were just kind of working remotely, communicating remotely. And like I say, ever since we've been together more as a unit in Dubai, we've been kind of putting our heads together and coming up with some cool ideas. So yeah, I will be in Dubai for quite a long time yet. But I must say it's lovely being back in the UK, even if it's classic UK weather. Okay, goodness me, I've barely talked anything about crypto, have I? So yes, SBF obviously is the big thing. Let's just hope. I really hope that goes quiet for Christmas, though. I don't want any sort of SBF related headlines spoiling my Christmas. I think ideally he just sits there in jail until the new year, and then we can all start talking about it again. But yeah, I think I've had quite enough of him. So we will try not to talk about SBF anymore on this stream. Okay, so what else am I going to talk about? Obviously, there are still concerns. A lot of people asking me why I think the market can go lower. A lot of people asking about what other risks I see on the horizon for crypto. And obviously, the big one at the moment, I think that a lot of people are worried about, is Genesis and DCG. Now, I still haven't seen any particular good news on this at the moment. And I mean, I guess it's kind of, Genesis and DCG have been out there. They've been trying to raise. There's a lot of speculation that DCG has been selling off a number of coins. I think that was partly responsible for the crash. I mean, Filecoin crashed really hard this year. DCG holds a lot of that. Ditto with Near Protocol as well, and others. So I think we did see, it looks like we saw quite a lot of selling from DCG. That's almost certainly to raise capital there. And I mean, I guess if you were an investor, if you had a ton of money and you were a big institution on Wall Street or anything like that, and a crypto company came knocking at your door now, asking for a bailout, would you bail them out? I don't know. That's not saying anything regarding Genesis or DCG. It just does not seem the moment. I can't imagine there being many people willing to invest massive sums of money in crypto companies at the moment. So we've yet to hear anything particularly positive. We've yet to hear anything saying that DCG and Genesis are fine. There's obviously a lot of money owed there, and yeah, that's something that I'm keeping a close eye on. That's something that I think could pull the crypto market lower in the coming weeks or months. Again, hopefully we'll get a bit of a rest from it over Christmas, but we will see. So that's something that I'm keeping an eye on, folks, and you should be too. Just watch those headlines. And Core Scientific, so mining. That's another thing. I've been banging on about this for a few weeks now, but crypto mining, Bitcoin mining sector is something I'm keeping a very close watch on too. We've just had the news, haven't we, that Core Scientific, one of the big Bitcoin miners, has filed for bankruptcy. We saw another Bitcoin miner, I can't remember which one this was, but another Bitcoin miner recently warned that there may be more bankruptcies coming. And we're seeing moves against Bitcoin miners from governments as well. I think there are 2 provinces in Canada who are really pushing back against Bitcoin miners, citing energy concerns. I think it's British Columbia has basically banned crypto mining on ESG grounds. I think Quebec is trying to do a sort of similar thing. And don't forget, we've also had the EU, the European Union, saying that it would shut down, it would force crypto mining operations to shut down in the event of an energy crisis there. So there's there's a lot to keep an eye out for in the mining sector, folks. And again, this is something that I think could yet drag the market lower. Obviously, if we see a decline in Bitcoin's hash rate, that is not good news. So keep an eye out for that. Santa Claus, I want BTC for Christmas. Well, Tofu Dog, it may be significantly on sale by Christmas. I mean, you could argue that it's on sale now. It's certainly a long way down from its all-time high, isn't it? See Ben Cowan's recent video on Bitcoin dominance. I did not, but I will check it out. Guy, why do you always talk about bears' bottoms? I can't help myself, Dino. I can't help myself. Okay. So okay, now this is something I wanted to ask about, because I'm back here in the UK and absolutely nothing is working at the moment. Everyone is on strike. So get this, I saw some friends over the weekend. One of my friends was not particularly well, and we were saying, like, you should go to hospital, you should get an ambulance. He was in quite a lot of pain with his stomach. And it was decided that there was no point calling an ambulance, because it probably wouldn't come, because it wasn't a massive emergency. And he decided not to bother going to hospital, because he'd just be sat there in a corridor for hours on end. And I just thought, man, is that what it's come to? Good old UK is, if you're ill, you just sort of shrug and get on with it. Forget getting a doctor's appointment. Anyhow, I'm wondering what it is like where you guys are based at the moment. We've got people watching from all over the world. Is it particularly bad for the UK? What's it like in other countries? I realise that it's Britain is not exactly what you call a poor country. Perhaps we've just had it too easy for too long. But yeah, it's certainly sad to see the state of things in the country at the moment. Similar happened to me last week. What's this? Gave myself a concussion and didn't bother with A&E. Couldn't deal with the weight. Man, well, I hope you're all right. Did you recover? Because I mean, I'm not a doctor, but if you concuss anything to the head, that's really serious. I'm hoping you're watching a live stream. You're watching one of my live streams now, which either suggests you've made a full recovery or you've got lasting brain damage. So I hope it's the former rather than the latter. In Canada, they just encourage you to, yes. Gosh. I'm in America. Okay, in America, it works, doesn't it? You just have to pay for it, and it costs a lot of money, from what I gather. Greece here, corrupted since forever. I think I'm just a bit of a spoilt, whiny Brit, aren't I? That's the problem. Netherlands is going the same way. I'm in Dallas, Texas. You'll have to wait to see a doctor, but it shouldn't be more than a couple of hours. Wow. Okay, King Kenny, that's not bad though, is it? A couple of hours. We take that in a heartbeat. It's a couple of weeks here. A couple of weeks to see a doctor. I lost a leg, just waited, and it grew back. Okay, so that's all right. Pinot Noir. Wow. Okay. So it's Brazil. It's free and paid works hell. Well, okay. So someone sent me 288 Litecoin by mistake. Wow, Christmas has come early for you, hasn't it? In Jamaica, you just drink some tea. Well, you Jamaicans are just made of sterner stuff. Jamaicans are just tough people, aren't they? Okay. What else was I going to talk about? Well, I'm quite enjoying these comments, actually. I'm in Sweden and the health system has been deteriorating the last years, supposed to be one of the best in the world. Wow, if it's not good in Sweden, I mean, I thought you Swedes basically had everything figured out. Okay, if Sweden's going down the toilet, I don't know what to do. Altcoin Daily interview dropped. No, that is on Christmas Day, Lovepreet. Yeah, my interview with the chaps from Altcoin Daily is going to be on their channel on Christmas Day. What do you think? Who would you like to see me interview next year? I'm trying to do, that's one of the things that I want to do more of next year. I want to try and interview a few more people, do a few more, video interviews and things like that. Who would you like me to try and talk to? Obviously, other content creators in the space, or other personalities in the space, or maybe not crypto people at all, or people sort of on the fringes of crypto. Who would you like me to talk to? Sensible suggestions only. Come to Brazil for gardening. Charles Hoskinson. I'd like to talk to Charles. I think he'd be very interesting. I think he's got a very dry sense of humor, hasn't he? He's quite. No, I'm not going to talk to Andrew Tate. No, let's just. You should go on Lex Friedman. Wow, did you see CoffeeZilla on Lex Friedman? That was great, wasn't it? Lex Friedman is one of my favorite discoveries of the year. Tom Emmer, that's a good call. That's a good call. Elon Musk. Well, Red Sox. I mean, we'd all like to speak to Elon Musk. I'd like to think I've got a little bit of clout in the crypto community, but I don't think we'd be able to get Elon Musk to come and speak on Coin Bureau. He is pretty much the world's most famous person. Bring Satoshi Nakamoto on. Yes, good idea. Yeah, I'll give Satoshi a ring. I think he's pretty free at the moment. Gavin Wood. I was supposed to talk to Gavin Wood earlier this year, and it fell through. I think he had something come up and we weren't able to talk, which was a shame. CZ, yep, I'm working on that. I'm hoping to speak to CZ again next year. That is definitely in the works, and it helps that he's often in Dubai as well, because I like the idea of, I prefer the idea, I should say, of sitting down with someone face to face. Obviously in this day and age, you have to do most interviews over Zoom. But there's nothing quite like sitting down with someone. It really makes a lot of difference. And I think it makes, I think it makes for a better interview in general. Matthew Smead says, my nan has a lot to say for herself. Matthew, do you think your nan would be willing to come on? I mean, I don't want to assume anything here, but if we can get her, I'd love to talk to your nan. I'm sure she's brilliant. Okay, SBF will have some time in 2023. Yes, he won't be going anywhere. Yeah, so long as I'm willing to fly out to whatever federal prison he's in. John Hanna, bring me, lol. Are you the John Hanna? John Hanna, the actor? I don't know. I'm not sure, unless he's into crypto. Okay, so lots of suggestions. Do an interview with Caroline Ellison. I would love to, so long as we can find out where she is. Again, she's been a little difficult to track down at the moment. I did reach out to Sam Trabucco. I sent him a message on Twitter saying, Sam, how about it? Let's have a chat. I'm sure people will be very interested to hear your point of view. And he didn't get back to me, unfortunately. Crypto Jumper says, Joe Rogan, please. Again, again, it would be great to speak to Joe Rogan. I just don't think we've got that sort of clout, guys. Remember, crypto is a very, very small space. Just because a few people follow us in the crypto space, the rest of the world has no idea that Coin Bureau exists. So I think it would be kind of difficult to get Joe Rogan on. Having said that, I mean, he's talked about crypto before, hasn't he? So maybe Joe, if you want to come on, come and interview with me, that would be lovely. Some very bizarre suggestions in the comments there. Raul Paul, yes, I'd like to speak to Raul Paul. He seems like a good guy. Charles Hoskinson, what's your background? Do you mean what's this background, or what's my background in general? Okay, Gerald Cotton, now that he's still alive. Oh, J-Sharp 92, yes. Good question, good point. That was something I was going to talk about. That was, wow, I realized that I've rambled on for almost the entire hour at the moment, but that was another crypto related thing that I wanted to talk about with you guys. So did you see this news from earlier in the week that Bitcoin, some Bitcoin has been transferred out of wallets belonging to Quadriga CX. Now, I'm assuming that pretty much most of you are familiar with Quadriga CX. This was the Canadian crypto exchange that went down back in 2018? No, 2019 is when it went down. But 2018 was when its founder, Gerald Cotton, disappeared. And now, all of a sudden, now, as you might remember, Gerald Cotton was thought to be the only person who could access the exchange's wallets, and hence anyone who had money on Quadriga has basically not been able to retrieve it ever since, because he supposedly died and took that information to his grave with him. But we have seen Bitcoin moving out of Quadriga wallets. Now, I've seen a bit of speculation saying this was something to do with Ernst & Young, who are involved with kind of wrapping up or, trying to untangle everything at Quadriga, dealing with the sort of bankruptcy of it. But I mean, it's intriguing, isn't it, folks? It's intriguing. Is Jerry Cotton still alive? This is the big thing. And when I was talking about this with some colleagues earlier, now we're trying to figure out how exactly we can make this theory work. But this is where I need some input from you guys as well. So here we are. So FTX, we've had everything about that. Obviously, who has just been flown over to the United States. That whole thing is falling apart. And is it a coincidence that at this time, suddenly, wallets that belong to Quadriga are suddenly active again? Now, I'm trying to fit this all together. Basically, I'm working on building up a theory that Jerry Cotton has been alive all this time and living in a penthouse in the Bahamas. So, what do we think, guys? What do we think? Is there a way that we can make that we can slot the pieces of this together to make a credible theory, and then I can do a viral video on it and we can break the internet? So, yeah. That's the theory that I'm working on. Because obviously we've seen a lot of kind of crypto baddies come out of the woodwork ever since this FTX thing went down, haven't we? We've had the guys from 3 Arrows Capital basically saying it was Alameda, they did it, that we didn't do anything wrong. Do Kwon was sort of wading in on it as well. So is this Jerry Cotton coming out of the woodwork? Is he going to somehow crop up and say, hey, it wasn't me, it was SBF all along? Ruja Ignatova, yes, maybe he is married. So here's the theory. Okay, so Jerry Cotton disappeared, married Dr. Ruja from OneCoin, because she went on the run quite a long time before, but perhaps they met up on the same yacht, and then him and Dr. Ruja both got jobs at FTX, and they're now both hiding out in that penthouse, and they basically sent SBF out to face the music, and they're still there. So that's the theory. I mean, that sounds entirely credible to me, folks. Okay, so Harry Newt says, sounds insane. I know, Harry, I know, but crypto is insane at the moment. It's been an insane year. I think it's perfectly plausible. I just need to yeah. Harry, you've changed your tune. Sounds plausible. Exactly. I think it's all perfectly plausible. We just need to work out how this all fits together. Credible only in the light of currency. Totally agree. Okay, so I mean, it's perfectly possible. SBF had a rubber mask and is really the dead Quadriga guy. That is exactly what a colleague of mine said. That is exactly, he said, yeah, maybe SBF is going to pull off his Mission Impossible style mask, and it will be Jerry Cotton underneath the entire time. He put a really crap wig on, a really odd face, and that's the explanation. How many streams are you running at the same time? Just two. Herky, just two. I'm live on TikTok, and I'm also live on Coin Bureau Clips as well. So that's why my focus is a little bit split. Donkey Kong saying, Tiffany, do you mean Tiffany Fong? Because yes, I would love to speak to her. I think she would make a great interviewee. So I will put Tiffany Fong on the list. Peter McCormick, I would love to speak to Peter as well. In fact, I saw him in Miami at Bitcoin Miami, and to my lasting regret, I didn't go up and say hello. I was with a couple of other people at the time, and I saw him sort of walking past, and I really wanted to go and say hi to him, and I kind of chickened out of it a bit because I was chatting to these other people, and at the time I missed my opportunity. But I would love to talk to Peter because I think he's done great work. A very opinionated guy, obviously a Bitcoin maxi, but we love Bitcoin maxis as well. And he's, I love his podcast. So yeah, Peter McCormack, we'll try and put him on the list. Howdy Guy from beautiful Wales. Ah, lovely. Fantastic. Wales is beautiful. I went back to Wales for the first time in years, a couple of years ago, and it was absolutely lovely. Tucker Carlson is interesting. Tucker Carlson, yeah, again, he's one of these guys, he's pretty big, but it would certainly be interesting to talk to him. So far we're lining up an interview series where I speak to some of the most famous people on earth. I have a chat with Elon Musk. Then I go and talk to Joe Rogan, and then Tucker Carlson. I could probably do all three in one weekend, couldn't I? Elon Musk, it depends where he's based. Anyhow, on a serious note, I wonder how much of our recent bull run was SBF. Can I get that comment up there? Let me just have a look. That looks like. On a serious note, I wonder how much of our recent bull run was a result of SBF. In other words, the all-time highs were probably skewed quite a bit. Can we really count on those highs again? It's a good question, Phoebits. I think it's. I was actually thinking the opposite a little earlier today. You know, how high could we have gone if it wasn't for SBF? Because I think, you know, the consensus seems to be that what SBF and FTX and Alameda were doing behind the scenes was was holding the crypto market back. Obviously, since they collapsed, they've pulled it lower. But it's a fair point, because there was obviously so much market manipulation going on. It's right to wonder. That might make a good video. Yeah, good thinking. Good question. Joe Johnson. I actually met Joe Johnson once playing petanque in a park in London. He's actually quite a nice chap. Funnily enough, I've never met Boris Johnson. Now, I'm not sure Boris Johnson annoys me a little bit. I haven't really forgiven him for everything, really. So I'm not sure I would want to. I'm not sure I'd want to sit down with Boris Johnson. I think that might get a little bit heated. David Lynn. That is a good sign. Well, I did speak to Michelle at Kitco when I was at Future Blockchain back in October. So it would be good to speak to David as well. So I think we can probably make that happen. Rishi Sunak, again, I know we're both Brits, but I'm not sure Rishi Sunak is going to make time to speak to a crypto YouTuber. I don't know. I mean, perhaps, seeing as he'll probably lose his job in the next few months anyway, and we'll have a new prime minister, maybe he'll have some free time then. But again, you know, there's only I can maybe speak to people in the crypto space, but I think going bigger than that might be difficult. How about a discussion with Vitalik B? I'd love to speak to Vitalik. Yeah, that's something we've been working on as well. So I'm definitely going to try and make that happen. Russell Brand's big, isn't he? He's How many subscribers has Russell Brand got? He's a big YouTuber now, isn't he? Anyhow, Cynthia Lummis, Jacob Rees-Mogg. Oh, no, not Jacob Rees-Mogg. He annoys me. I find him. I think British politicians would be a difficult one, because I'd have to kind of restrain myself from just letting loose on them. Okay, Larry David. I think after everything that's happened with FTX, I imagine Larry David is probably not picking up the phone to any crypto people at all. I imagine Larry David is sorry he ever heard about crypto, because I would love to speak to Larry David. Klaus Schwab. Wow, I'd have a few things to say to Klaus. My word. I don't think I'd get in the door with Klaus Schwab. I think probably when he looked me up and saw the videos that I've made about him and his evil organization, I think that would probably be it. Nigel Farage, again, I know someone who had Nigel Farage's number and used to prank call him every time they were drunk, and he would always pick up. Anyhow, you should talk with this Satoshi Nakamoto guy. Guy's parents and their views on crypto. That's a good one. I could take the camera next door. My parents are through in the living room. I could take the camera next door and ask them what they thought about crypto. That could be an absolute PR disaster, though, because what if? I mean, I think my dad finds it very interesting, and has got some Bitcoin himself. My mum, I don't think, could be less interested in crypto, and it would be a bad look as well. Ooh, can you hear that? The guy's parents' grandfather clock striking. Barack Obama, again, it would be nice. It would be nice. Vladimir Putin, yeah, okay. Shall I just flip? Should we? Okay, so we're going to do Guy's gardening channel, and are we also going to do a? Am I also going to suddenly reinvent myself as the interviewer of the rich and powerful, and just travel the world speaking to all the world leaders and Andrew Tate apparently, and just getting their things on? Jack the Ripper, yep, okay. Jesus, yep. I'll see. The mantle clock has spoken. Who else? Excellent. Guy's parents, yep. Lex Friedman. So yeah, I'll just speak to all these powerful people and just do the rounds of the interviews, and at the end we can talk about their views on crypto. I think Vlad and I would, again, that would be a fairly fraught discussion. Mr. Wonderful. Yes, I'm not sure. I'm not sure I'd really like to speak to Kevin O'Leary, because yeah, he's annoyed me quite a bit. Pinocchio, yeah, okay, we'll talk to Pinocchio. To the Mexican cartels, okay, yeah, I'm sure we can fix that. Lots of very silly suggestions coming up in the comments now. You can tell we're getting towards the end of the stream, and people are interviewed Tom Brady again. I just don't think Tom Brady wants to speak about crypto ever again. I'm sure he's had enough of it. Someone saying Margot Robbie. Yeah, I'm sure Margot Robbie would love to sit down with a random crypto YouTuber and talk about gardening and all that sort of stuff. I'm sure she'd be completely up for that. Congrats on your new collaboration with Benjamin Cowens. Thank you, Martin. More exciting news on that to come very, very soon. But I'm glad you guys are enjoying Benjamin's contributions to our weekly news, because I think they're just great, aren't they? He's such a smart guy. He's like one of the smartest people I have ever met. I just don't want to play him at chess, because apparently he's very, very good at that. Lionel Messi, again, yeah, sure. Donald Trump, maybe Donald Trump might be keen now that he's gone crypto, now that he's released NFTs. You know, we could definitely have a discussion, Trump and I, about NFTs. Harry Maguire, I don't know. Okay. So you've given me lots of ideas, folks. But do Do Kwon. Yeah, again. Well, did you hear Laura Shin talking with Do Kwon? I thought she did a very good job of that interview. I don't think you see, this is the thing. Like a lot of the crypto people have spoken to some really, really good interviewers. You know, interviewing is something that I'm still kind of learning how to do. You know, I like to think that I'm pretty good at sort of sitting there and talking about crypto. But actually interviewing, from the few interviews that I've done, it's quite a skill, and it's something that I need to work on quite a lot. So you know, I need to maybe practice on that. Andre Cronje, I'd love to talk to him, yeah, and Charles Hoskins. Okay, lots of people to talk to over the next year. So that's something we're really going to work on for 2023, getting some really cool interviews going as well. What was that suggestion? Okay, Miss Teen Crypto. Someone was mentioning Miss Teen Crypto to me the other day. I think one of my friends watches her. I haven't seen her channel yet, but good luck to her. Good luck to her. It's good to see the younger generation getting into crypto as well. Okay, great. All right, folks, was there anything else that I was going to talk about as well? Anything crypto related? Really nothing much. I think it's all very, very quiet in crypto at the moment. John Cleese. Oh, I'd love to speak to John Cleese. Okay, folks, I'm going to leave it there for now because I have, it's time for me to go and get a Christmassy glass of something nice. And I think it is for you too. Hoping Hope Guy, no, crypto is not dead. It's just sleeping at the moment. Don't worry, it will return. So plan is maybe a live stream next week if I have the time and if we've got some interesting sort of crypto stuff to talk about. I'm definitely going to start that gardening channel, and I'm definitely going to get right on the phone to, who was it? I'm going to interview Joe Rogan and Elon Musk and Vladimir Putin. Those are all three on my to-do list. So a very Merry Christmas to you all, guys. If I don't see you before 2023, then a very Happy New Year to you as well. It'll be great to see the back of 2022 finally. I really can't wait till this year is done with. But thank you all for joining again. And thank you, I want to say as well, in case this is the last time I speak to you this year, I want to say thank you so much for supporting us at Coin Bureau over the last year. Like I say, I know it's been a really difficult year to be in crypto, and I know a lot of people have lost interest and moved on, but it's great that so many of you have stuck around. Thank you for not just supporting crypto, but for not just supporting Coin Bureau, but for supporting crypto as well. Things will get better. It's been a bad old year for the industry we love, but they will get better. There is so much exciting stuff ahead for crypto and for Coin Bureau, and it really means a lot that you guys are willing and able to give up some time every Thursday to watch me kind of ramble on, sometimes about crypto, but quite often about complete nonsense. I really do appreciate you joining me, folks, and I really do appreciate, and all my colleagues at Coin Bureau really appreciate your support as well. And we're going to thank you, in the only way that we know how next year, by keeping the content coming, by getting even better and better, and bringing you all that information that you need. So thank you, everyone. Thanks for your support. Have a very Merry Christmas, and I will see you all very soon. Goodbye. Goodbye from wherever you're watching. Peace and love to you all. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Okay.